the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som känner konsoldater konsolferina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey there, welcome to WannaBet. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. For our loyal viewers, I want to apologize. I know that we have been consistently giving you guys a great product on a daily basis, and we do strive to do this 7 days a week. Last week, we had some end of the summer stuff that we had to take care of. So, it was just really difficult to get the show done when Ben is either out of town or I'm out of town, and we don't have the kind of hookup that we would need for this to go without any glitches. But again, if you want all of our picks in real time, everything that we're playing, you can go to the Super Discord and find out. I especially want to apologize because we are kicking ass over 3 months since we launched this. And August, forget about it. We're abso-effing-lutely blowing things up. And Beltway Ben, we last did a show on Friday. How did that go? Yeah. Huh? Do you see any red up there? Do you see any losers up there? That's not even everything. I lost 3 bets last week. Okay? One was a lacrosse game where I was up by 5 goals and had 2 calls go against me. One was an over that would have hit if Lindor didn't get picked off second base before a 2-run homer was hit. And the other one was Toluca holding the ball for 75% of the time and having 15 corners and somehow not beating an MLS team. That was it. Like, the other 17 plays I gave you guys hit. There's the QR code for the Super Discord. We are on MLB every effing day. We're on NFL every effing day. WNBA. We're on Champions League. We're on EPL. Like, I don't know what more we can do for you guys. Beltway Ben, what do you have to say about our bets last week and the kind of effort we put into this show?
Oh, yeah. Damn good. It's going well. You guys already know. Anybody who's tailed knows how well we're doing. It was a great start to college football.
Yes.
Cashed a bunch of those plays. We did have the Kansas State long bet that didn't cash, but Kansas State gave that game away. There's no way around it. But again, it was a very good Friday and Saturday with some future college football plays that we put in. MLB, we're continuing to roll. And again, we'll have college football this Thursday. So with football back around, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, no, we're fired up. It's a Monday, so our buddy Eric Casillas, who really is the godfather of the sports betting Super Discord that you see there, he's with us. EK is also going to be with us, I believe, on Thursday because I will be moving another child into another college campus, but I will put all my picks in here so these guys can give them out. The last time we did that, I went 5-0 or 6-0. I don't really remember. The wins just keep bleeding together. If you're new to the show, first, second, third down, our 3 favorite plays right bleeping now. 4th and long is not 4th and long. When we get new graphics package, it'll say 4th and short. That's coming, thanks to our friends at Odyssey. It's a quick hitter, something to get you paid in the first inning, by the first 3 innings, first 5 innings, first quarter. We're here to make sure you don't have to sit through an entire game to make some money. Overtime, we'll be looking at MLB future plays that we've made recently on teams that either have never won a World Series before or teams that aren't currently in the playoffs. But let's get it started. EK, let the people know about the Super Discord real quick and give us your first down bet.
You guys did a great job explaining the Super Discord. All I'll point out is this. People weren't believing how well we were doing, so I was screenshotting the picks and what the chat from the Super Discord. Every time I look up, all I get is that you guys have won again, and I was 11-3-1 last week in baseball. I'm sorry to see last week go. We also won in college football. It has been a crush fest in August on the Super Discord. There is no reason to be losing in sports wagering. I always say to everybody, if you're winning, keep doing what you're doing. God bless you. But if you want to do better than you're doing, join our community. We'll get you straight. And fantasy football, I have all my rankings up. I am taking people through their drafts. I personally map out their top 3 picks with them, and everybody is so happy and doing well. All right, let's get to it. This week I'm going to start baseball, and I'm going to go with my philosophical play. What is it? 7 straight on this show I've explained. You play Sunday Night Baseball on the road, and then you play Monday Night Baseball on the road, and I'm fading you on Monday. You're completely off your schedule. These guys are creatures and routine, and when you play Sunday night, you're the only team that plays Sunday night, and then you got to travel on Sunday night, and you got to play on Monday, and it's all on the road. I'm fading you. So I'm fading Boston today. Give me Baltimore. It's just the philosophical play. I do it every time. And over the last year and a half since I've been tracking it, it has cashed almost 70% of the time.
Well, and the Red Sox are spent after taking 3 or 4 from the Sox. The Orioles took it to them at Fenway. Sagano, who's on the bump tonight, was very good against Boston. And I think it's Dick Fitz or Dickie Fitz or whatever he wants to be these days as a spot starter for the Sox. So I like it. Beltway Ben, what you got, brother?
Yeah, I think they're going to go with Bernardino as the opener too.
Oh, is it? Oh, Bernardino. Okay,
just as an opener, but I think Fitz is going to handle the long relief. But I'm going with the WNBA. First down, Tina Charles over 6.5 rebounds at plus 104. She's over this in 2 of her last 3 games. Now, Tina Charles is a vet, one of the oldest players in the league. Everybody knows her. And the Liberty are banged up. She should have no issues getting there. But I say she's older because sometimes it feels like she's a little lazy on the glass, and she doesn't. She's playing on a bad team. They're not in the playoff run, so it's always risky when you go with her. But we are getting plus money here for against the Liberty team, allowing 36.4 rebounds per game to opposing teams over their last 7. That is last in the WNBA. Brianna Stewart's probably back, they said, but she's not going to play 30 minutes. First game back, I would expect somewhere 20 to 25 minutes. And even if she does play, that shouldn't change what Charles does on the glass. So with the Liberty banged up, and they have 3 other players questionable, I don't think all of them will play. So it'll be interesting to see. But I do like Tina Charles over 6.5 boards.
Excellent. I'm going MLB. I'm going with my Brew Crew. If you watch the show regularly, we've been riding the hell out of the Brew Crew, but we don't ride them every day. We don't ride them every day. We laid off the Brew Crew yesterday, but we're on them here. Brandon Woodruff on the mound. He's 3-1 at home with a 2.5 ERA. You're looking at a Brewers team facing Eduardo Rodriguez, who has been awful and particularly awful on the road. The Brew Crew beat Eduardo 7-0. Now, that was back in April, and he was just on his way back from long-term injury. Guess what? He hasn't gotten any better. Eduardo on the road this season has allowed 79 hits in 61 1/3 innings pitched, 11 dingers. The league against Eduardo Rodriguez on the road, 309, 362, 508 slash line. That's an 870 OPS. That's 1 through 9 in the lineup, folks. That is the league versus Eduardo on the road, 870 OPS. We're looking at a Diamondbacks team that is 1-8 in their last 8 games on the run line. They've been terrible on the run line on the road. But guess what? I'm a little worried about the Brewers, my Brewers bullpen these days. So I'm going to shorten this game. Oh, I knew I'd get a rise out of you, Beltway, Ben. I knew I'd get.
I was waiting for it to come up.
I knew I'd get a little smirk
to come up
or an eye roll. Yeah, they're not perfect, Beltway, Ben. They're not perfect, but they're my Brew Crew, and I can't wait for Quinny P to get back on the mound this week, and I will back him because they've won. Sing it. 15 straight wins with Quinny P on the road. I mean, on the overall, 8 straight on the road. But anyway, I'm going to make it first 5, pound Eduardo, run on their catchers, and Woodruff hold it down. But I am a little worried about the Brewers bullpen. Second down, Beltway, Ben. Lay off my board.
Shockingly, this is the first time
How about that?
Been with you.
Meatballs with the Brew Crew.
Yes, I am. And I also like William Contreras over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs and minus 140. You can chalk that one down as an official play as well. But Eduardo Rodriguez might be one of the worst, qualified starters this year, and they really hoped they would get someone out of him, but they haven't since really the big signing. But second down here, we're going to go with Roman Anthony over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 120. Again, we're getting plus money at a 2.5 number. Last night, takes the ball to left center field that I thought was gone off the bat against Rodon. Rodon thought it was gone. And Grisham goes back to the wall and catches it. He's not going to win AL Rookie of the Year, but to me, he deserves a shot, right? Kurtz has been awesome. What Kurtz is doing is incredible. If you put Roman Anthony in that park, I'd be interested to see where the power numbers go, to be quite honest with you. But against right-handed pitching on the road, 329, 495, 529 slash line for him. Sagano has turned things around again. Sagano's looked like the pitcher he was in the first half. He's figured it out, but he has given up 8 home runs to left-handed batters at Camden Yards. Not good at all. Opposing batters slugging 480 against Sagano at home. That is also the worst thing that he has. Right, left-handed batters at Camden Yards is the worst thing for him. And you have an under night last night. There should be a good spot. Anthony's back in the leadoff spot here. So over 2.5 plus 120, I'll take it.
And you got to look-see at Sagano last week at Fenway. Second down for me, we want to get this now. This match is not until later in the week in Champions League qualifying, but we're going to ride Celtic here. Somehow, this first leg last week was 0-0. Celtic had the ball 75% of the time. They had 15 corners. They drew against a side from Kazakhstan that they should have whacked. I get it. Like, traveling 3,000 miles to Kazakhstan, it ain't easy. It's not a great place to play. I'd rather play there now than the dead of winter. But this is a Celtic side that has too much class. They're not going to get shut out for 180 minutes over 2 legs of this tie. If they score early, this could get really sideways. They've been to 4 straight Champions League propers. It's not new for them to go through the qualifying process. The side from Kazakhstan has never been before. I love the fact that domestically in Scotland, it was a pretty easy 3-0 win for Celtic over the weekend, so they didn't have to exert themselves there. I think they'll have the right mental mindset. If they have to squeak out a 1-0, I think they do it. But I cannot imagine them getting shut out again. If they get that road goal, and again, maybe they park the bus a little bit, it's a hostile climate, 1-0. But I think they score in regulation. I don't think they concede. So that's where we are on that match. I suspect by kickoff, that's going to be more like a minus 200. Second down, EK.
All right, I'm going to go to the NFL, and I saw this got posted yesterday on DraftKings, DK, and I'm going to take DK on DK, and that's DK Metcalf to have 1,000 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns at huge plus money. I mean, we're making 5-6 to 1 on our money here. Look, Aaron Rodgers, more than any quarterback since we've been charting this, is beholden to the number one guy that he trusts. He's a trust quarterback. If he trusts you, he throws you the ball. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Look at last year, right? The Jets' offense was terrible. Rodgers was terrible. Everything didn't go their way. The 2 wide receivers he trusted combined for 300 targets, 185 catches, and 15 touchdowns in a bad year. And the only guy in Pittsburgh he trusts is DK. Yeah. DK is going to get peppered like Devontae Adams back in the day when they were in Green Bay. I think he's getting 1,010 this year, and I'm going to get plus 500 or 600 at that kind of return. How do I say no? If Aaron Rodgers is who he showed us that he wants to be, and DK Metcalf is his favorite and trusted target, this is a great value bet for me.
Yeah, I love that as well. He will get force-fed. I'm completely with you. Third down, I am backing the Kansas City Royals on the money line. Now, if you're a regular to this show, back in May, we were all over the White Sox when Shane Smith, their Rule 5 pick, was pitching. He was great through 5 innings and then fell off a cliff. He was sneaking up on people, and the White Sox, with like 3 of their starters on the mound, were constantly delivering first 5 run line covers. Not so much anymore. Smith's hit the wall, and Smith at home, it's just been difficult, right? Like the White Sox are 1-9 when he starts at home. 7 of those losses on the run line. The White Sox have scored 26 runs in this kid's 10 home starts, and they've given up 50. We're looking at a Kansas City team that's 8-2 against the White Sox this season. 4 in a row of those victories were on the run line. 6 of their 8 victories over the White Sox this year on the run line. And again, we're just going money line here to be safe. It's a pale hose team that's only won 6 of their last 20 games. And this Noah Cameron kid continues to deliver for the Royals. 2.53 ERA. He's even better, oddly enough, outside of Kauffman Stadium, which is a great pitcher's park. 2.11 ERA on the road. He faced the pale hose earlier this year, 5 1/3, 1 earned run allowed. And we're looking at a KC team that's 9-4 in their last 13 games and making a playoff push. So I think they find a way to win this game. Third down, what you got, EK?
All right, I am begging people to make this bet. Jalen Hurts, 15 rushing touchdowns, plus 275. Think of it this way. He played 14 games last year. He had 13 rushing touchdowns. That would put him on pace to be ahead. The year before, he had 15 rushing touchdowns. That would cash. The year before, he had 6 rushing touchdowns in his last 5 games. For 2.5 years,
Right.
he has been over this pace per game in every game in every year. All right? And you say, well, why? Well, the tush push is the most unstoppable play in football. He has converted a 1-yard we need it 50 more times than any running back over the last 3 years. Let me say that again slowly. 50 more than any running back. And oh, by the way, Saquon was 3 for 11 last year when they needed a yard. It's not his thing. They will not stop running the tush push. You know it's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is an unstoppable play and has been for 3 years, and they will keep doing it, which is why he's going to get a rushing touchdown, average 1 per game. If he plays 16 games, we're going to cash this. We don't even need week 17, and it's plus 275. Give me all of it.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, wrap up our third down Beltway Ben.
Back to the hit run RBI market here. We're going to go with Riley Green over 1.5. 296, 354, 636 slug against right-handed pitching on the road for him. Like, that's pretty absurd just compared to what he's doing at home. They've had some struggles against right-handed pitching at home, but on the road, they've turned it up a little bit. JT, again, he's been solid at home, right? Also, or solid on the road. But at home, 6.75 ERA. And I talked about that park just a little bit ago. It's not very good. Lefties are slashing 419, 545, 953 in Sacktown against Ginn. That's shocking. We already saw them face off once this year. Riley Green was 1 for 3, I think, with a base hit. So Riley Green does have some good numbers against him recently. And in his last 5 games, Riley Green's got 3 home runs. So he's starting to turn things on. Minus 140, a little bit of juice here, but I'm confident Green goes over the 1.5 here.
Meaty's doing an Axl Rose dance. That doesn't mean anything to you, Beltway Ben. We're on board. Dude, those numbers that's redonkulous. We're on board there. And just shout out to our man, Choppy, RIP. All right, so there's our first 3 downs, our favorite plays that we've made today. 4th and long, as I told you, is not 4th and long. It's 4th and short. We're looking for a quick hitter to get you paid quickly. EK, you have the honors.
I'm going to go with Nerfy, which, we've cashed at a pretty darn crazy rate. You especially, JLC, have crushed these. I'm going to go Atlanta and Miami Nerfy. That means no runs first inning. That means I am betting it will be 0-0 at the end of 1. I got to lay a little bit of juice here at 135, but that's okay. Spencer Strider has not been great this year, but he's great against Miami and has been great this year against Miami. His ERA under 3 at 2.87. And if we're looking at what's happening with Miami, they have Edward Cabrera on the mound, and Edward Cabrera has a 2.77 ERA against the Braves and is very good early in the game. So I get 2 guys that are good against this opponent who start pretty fast with lineups that don't really particularly scare me early, and all I got to get is 0-0. The time of day is also nice down there in South Florida. Earlier start may get a little shadow going, so give me the Nerfy.
I like it. I do a lot of work in first 3 innings markets as well, and I'm this close to taking the first 3 under in that game, which correlates to your Nerfy. Beltway Ben, 4th and short.
Semi-short here. I went first 5 to try to be a little safer. Again, I could have went first 3, but it's about the same. If they're going to go over 1.5 runs for the first 3, they should get over 2.5 for the first 5. We're getting plus money on both of them. So I'm going with the Brewers over 2.5 runs for the first 5. They've hit lefties at home better than anybody else in the major leagues over the past month. They get it here against Rodriguez, who Jason touched on it earlier. I mean, horrendous. Like, horrendous on the road. And even at home, he's gotten hit pretty hard. But the number that stands out to you is what he's done against lefties and righties. It's not like when Yelich comes up, Rodriguez is at an advantage. He's gotten shelled by lefties. He's gotten shelled by righties. So I'm not really too worried about it with what this Brewers offense does. I touched on it earlier. I like William Contreras over his prop, but I just think this lineup's going to get to him today. Coming off of an ugly series loss to the Giants, which it's funny. When Jason and I talked Cubs Brewers, both of us pushed back to the other one saying bullpen. Well, both bullpens are really falling apart for us. As we talked about, Palencia isn't who we thought he was. McGill is starting to go back to that waiver claim. And Uribe's given up way more than he has. And you expect that with bullpen,
Walking
but
too
again,
many
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's for plus money. I really like that. That's a great play there, Beltway Ben. I am back on a Nerfy market, and if you watch us regularly, I'm often on Joe Ryan Nerfies. Why? Well, Joe Ryan has allowed a first inning run in one of his last 15 starts. Joe Ryan has a 2.25 ERA in the first inning for the season. That's through 24 starts, a pretty good sample size. How are these teams been to the Nerfy lately? Minnesota's 8-3 to the Nerfy in their last 11. Toronto's 7-3 to the Nerfy in their last 10. Now, you might look at Scherzer's overall first inning numbers and not be blown away. But remember, he missed a lot of time. He got knocked around early by the Orioles and a couple other teams in his first 2 starts. He's gone 5 straight without giving up a run in the first inning. And a lot of times, he ain't giving up a base runner in the first inning. He overall has a 2.25 ERA through his last 5 starts. So that shows you the kind of overall level that he's pitching at. The Twins, trading Correa, they've really, kind of decimated the top end of their lineup. So that's where I am on this one. I also have an official play, parlaying the Nerfy with Toronto to win this game. I don't think they push Joe Ryan more than 5 innings. I mean, the Twins are trying to salvage his trade value for next year. The Twins bullpen, they traded everybody. The Twins, as I mentioned, have just been sort of falling apart lately. They got destroyed by the White Sox. Like, the Twins have lost 11 of their last 12 games. So of the Twins' last 12 starts, 11 of them they lost by multiple runs. They're also 3-10 overall in their last 13 games. And Toronto's the best team in baseball at home. So plus 184, Toronto to win the game, plus a Nerfy. Okay, overtime. We continue to look for value in Major League futures markets, although we're kind of running out of time there as the playoffs are closer than not. However, there is still money to be made out there. EK, you have the floor. What do you like here? Or maybe you don't like anything at all.
There's not much I really found, because I think if you look, the playoffs are they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
I think everybody who's currently in is going to get in. I don't think Cincinnati is going to catch the Mets, and I don't think anybody in the American League is going to run down the Red Sox. For example, Texas was somebody I liked before. They're not giving them away. I mean, if you can get real plus money on Texas, but I can't. The only thing I might look at, and I like yours better than mine, is I might think to take the Padres over the Dodgers to win the West at plus money, because the Padres schedule is easier and nobody wants to bet against the Dodgers. But that's all I could find in this spot.
Yeah, the only team that I like kinda to get in who's not in, like, I could see the Royals getting in, and I could see it being at the expense of the Yankees. Yankees to miss the playoffs, maybe. Beltway Ben, what you got?
I'm going to go with a player prop here. I look through, I'm right there with you guys. At this point, I don't see it worth taking anybody, because I don't see anybody giving it up. I mean, if the Mets were with that payroll to blow that to the Reds, that town would burn down. But I am going with a prop here. Cade Horton to win NL Rookie of the Year at plus 160. Now, I'm furious I didn't get this a day ahead, because it was like plus 2,000 or some crazy number just a few days ago. Now, it's down to plus 160. Here's the odds-on favorite. The guy who's Collins, we've talked about him a lot on that. That's the guy who he's probably neck and neck with right now, right? The Miz has started getting hit around. He's not going to win it. Drake Baldwin's hurt, and when he's been on the field, it hasn't been anything special. Yeah. Cade Horton has 1 earned run allowed or less in his last 7 starts. And you can look at that and say, well, has he faced bad guys? The Angels are good hitting-wise. Like, their bullpen sucks, but the Angels can hit. That was at LA he did it. At Toronto, that's a team who's got one of the best records in the MLB. Home versus Boston. Again, one of the better teams in the MLB. At the White Sox, who have been able to hit right-handed pitching, surprisingly. So he's done this against fine teams. He's reliable. When they drafted him out of Oklahoma in the top 15, this is what they expected from him. It's what they wanted. And when you look at a pitcher for Rookie of the Year, you always have that worry. Could he be shut down? Could they start limiting his innings? As efficient as he is on the mound, I'm fine taking this risk here at plus 160. Collins hasn't been very good lately. 2 for his last 22. 11 for his last 51. And Collins is a guy who I talked about it time and time again. There's going to be regression. There's going to be regression. This is a guy, Rule 5 pick. He is not what they
leave the Z-Man alone. I call him the Z-Man. He delivers for me.
To keep it up all year.
Let's go light on the Z-Man.
That OPS is dropping by the day.
I do like this play. Now, I was watching on the train the other day, though. They yanked him early. He got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
He lost his command. But I like that for your play because, like, it helps his numbers, right? I mean, they went, played matchups. He walked the bases loaded. They got out of him. Only 1 run scored. So I do think them taking the long view with him
100%.
could help you because how many of these voters are watching every start, right? They're just looking at the numbers. So they're not – I don't know how many are going to go back to the box score and say, oh, he got himself in a shitload of trouble and, 8 batters into the game. They're just going to – they're just going to look at the ERA. So – I'm with you there. That's a good play. My play here is first-time World Series winner. Well, this includes the Rockies. It ain't going to be them. It includes the Rays. It ain't going to be them. But the Padres, the Mariners, and the Brew Crew have never won the World Series. So you're basically getting any of those 3 to break through and win. I saw this. I put $50 on it over the weekend. Like, I'm not telling you to go crazy. I don't want you to go crazy with any of these plays. But I did make 2 futures bets over the weekend as we investigated these markets. I also put a few bucks on Milwaukee versus the Padres, NLCS plus 950. The Dodgers, like, I don't know, guys. I know they're doing the job against the Padres right now. But I think the Dodgers, when we get to small sample series baseball, could be in a little bit of trouble, and all the pressure is going to be on them, and it's hard to repeat. Who's the best team in baseball? Like, which team in baseball is the least flawed? Like, I don't know. Like, so why isn't this a year that somebody who's never broke through? Because I don't think the Yankees are a juggernaut. I don't think the Dodgers are the juggernaut or the wagon they were last year. Like, I don't know. That's where I am. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, it's wide open. You're right. I mean, look, the Yankees have a million problems. The Dodgers bullpen stinks. Could be the Padres, and you get them. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. You got a nice list there. I saw that. I said I liked it better than mine.
Yeah, I mean the Mariners. I don't know. The lineup hasn't gelled the way we thought it would, but it might take off in the playoffs. If they get in. Like, so anyway. That's our show. We covered a lot of ground. Beltway Ben, please let the people know where we left off. I forgot where we left off on Friday. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that looks about right. So that record on the bottom is since we did this first show with our pal Katie Mox on May the 21st. We've basically done this 7 days a week with rare exceptions since then. So add those units together, and that's Ben and I giving up 57 units basically for you guys with free plays since late May. If somebody else is doing this and they've got a format like this and they're covering as much ground as we are, traditional sports, non-traditional sports, futures, all the above, then hats off to them. But I don't think they exist. You want to bet. We want to bet. We want to bet with you. Ben and I are back tomorrow. Let's keep cashing. There's the Super Discord if you want to get all our picks in real time. Thank you. We love you. We'll crush it again tomorrow.